Sup Nerdmigos, I'm the Jive talking nerd John Norgrove, and this is Nerd Jive. It's been a little while, but with Fanime and a bunch of family stuff going on, I've kind of been focusing on that. But I wanted to get back into it, so we've got nerd news. We've got nerd news for Wednesday, and it's gonna be a lot, but let's try to get it done quick. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, and this is totally like sort of off message, but I wanted to talk about fake news, and most specifically this whole bloody thing that's going around with Philip DeFranco. All right, I know it's gonna sound very clickbaity that I'm talking about this, but I've been subscribed to Philip DeFranco, man, since he was shooting those old black and white videos in his room, and I'm a huge fan, and he's an inspiration for me even starting what I'm doing, talking about news. Where he wants to talk about the world, I want to talk about the science and the advancement and the technology that should inspire us. And when it doesn't, I want to bring it up, and when it does, I want to bring it up. And long run, I'm going to start talking about bigger news and things like that. But Philip DeFranco was a big inspiration in the way that I shoot and the way that I do things and why I'm doing this in general. And I truly respect his work and love his work and love what he does. And I get so much out of it. I've been subscribed forever, and I love his stuff. But I watched the Philip DeFranco show today. I'm shooting this later on in the evening after his show comes out. I watched the Philip DeFranco show today, and he talked about the Wall Street Journal and The Verge or somebody like that just writing these hit pieces on him, and that killed me inside. All right, what I want to talk about is this delineation between like new media and old media, and most specifically about how old media is attacking new media. All right, these people write these hit pieces, and it's not just him, dude. So many people get this stuff. They get these hit pieces written about them, and it's insanity. You know what? Like, Philip DeFranco has to be nice, right? Because he's big, and when you're big, you got to be nice to a degree, and I respect that, and I understand that, and that's why. But you know what? Fuck those guys. Fuck the Wall Street Journal. Fuck The Verge. Fuck anybody who wants to talk shit about that guy. Look at his repertoire of work. Look at what he does. Look at the truths that he brings. Don't put that fucking hate on him, man. All right? He presents, you know what? In all reality, a more fair and balanced truth than even I would be capable of doing, because everybody's biased, and he gives you honesty, and then he gives his belief or his bias, and then he gives you the rest of the honesty. He is a truly unbiased, fair news outlet for the things that he talks about, and I respect that greatly. And when he makes a mistake, he calls himself out on it, and he brings it up in the next opportunity he has the opportunity to, the next chance he has the opportunity to, and you know what? More respect to him for doing that. I know there aren't a lot of us Nerdmigos out there, but if you're subscribed to me and you're not subscribed to Philip DeFranco, fucking correct that. Go subscribe to him. Listen to his stuff, man. He knows what he's talking about. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. He has a team behind him. He's funny, and he's honest about stuff, and that's something that I can't say about a lot of that legacy media or old media or fucking whatever, man. Those people they piss me off, especially when like he has to address this shit on his show where he's having to, I don't want to say waste time, because it's not a waste of time, because he's bringing it to our attention, and a lot of channels I don't think would. I think they would deal with it on the DL, but he's bringing it to our attention, but he's spending time where he could be talking about other things, and like, there's no way Philip DeFranco's ever gonna watch this. But if you ever watch this, Phil, like, keep doing what you're doing. You have all of my support, and you're fucking, dude. Fuck those guys. Like, you'll beat them. I might not. A lot of people might not. You will beat them, and Phil will. So follow his ass and pay attention, man. He's going to give you a lot of insight and a lot of things. It's really good. He's very unbiased, and that's incredibly uncommon nowadays. But my weird YouTube specific rant aside, I watched this video today, and I was just like, fuck. I'm like at work. I'm just like, fuck these guys. So I had to do that. But all right, let's get into the tech news. All right, so first up, real quick, the zombie apocalypse might start in Vietnam, so if you live in Vietnam, prepare yourself for that. If you don't live in Vietnam, well, probably ignore it, it'll be fine. I don't know. But so this company, and you see the symbol here, so this company, Medcare Skin Center in Ho Chi Minh City, is like low-key using the Umbrella Corp symbol, and like, it's, when I first saw it, I thought it was a joke, and then when like everybody started covering it, I was like, all right, so it's real, but like a little fucked up, but it's pretty great. So this is either like just an incredible coincidence, or it's just like the random happenstance of the universe, you know, like infinite possibilities, things just kind of line up, all right? Or this is the greatest marketing campaign Capcom and all of like video game technology has ever ran, because maybe this is all fake, and that would be amazing if we found that out, like if they started leaking experiments, and then they started leaking an accident, and then like they accidentally, you know, and then all of a sudden they leak like the next video game is coming out, people would lose their shit. So like this is amazing. Check it out. I have a story link below on Blaster. It's it's so funny, man. Oh my god. Like I saw this and was just like, not okay. Shut them down. Don't trust nobody that got that symbol. Like, it's not worth it. But yeah, so Vietnamese zombie apocalypse, maybe down the road. So next up is SpaceX news, and I got quite a bit of SpaceX news. So the first thing is there was a SpaceX launch just this last Saturday, and it was a successful launch and a successful landing. They launched a resupply mission to the ISS. All right, they not only successfully landed the first stage on the pad, which, so I have linked below the whole hosted launch, as well as they just recently uploaded, like today or maybe yesterday, like a full 4K edit of just the landing. It's like 10 seconds long of just the ship landing, and it's just, I've watched it legitimately like 10, 15 times. It's beautiful. Like, it's like watching a cartoon. It's just so unbelievable to see something that big just boop, just boop, landing on the ground. It's amazing. Like, it just blows my mind. But so they have that as well as a telecasted launch. But not, okay, so back on subject. Not only was it the first stage successfully landed on the ground, all right, but the launch vehicle for the cargo vehicle, the Dragon cargo capsule, was originally launched in 2014 as part of CRS-4. So this launch today was CRS-11, all right? So in 2014, they launched CRS-4, resupplied the International Space Station. They brought that back down, refurbished the shit out of it, put it back up, which is just another stepping stone in SpaceX getting my fat lazy ass to Mars on the cheap. So it's amazing. It's great news. Elon Musk is legitimately either a supervillain or the most wonderful person ever, but bam, check those out below. SpaceX is breaking grounds all the time. Just ground's getting broke all the time. Those guys are amazing. So the other SpaceX news, all right, is that they're doing like a secret launch for the United States Air Force. All right, so a few months ago, not a few months ago, in a few months, SpaceX is going to launch a Falcon 9 with a secretive Air Force miniature space plane, and they're going to launch it into low Earth orbit. So this is the X-37B. This has been launched 4 times previously on the back of an Atlas V rocket through the United Launch Alliance, which is like a launch company alliance between Boeing and Lockheed Martin. So, like, all right, they're launching some stuff for the Air Force. That's cool. Whatever. Nobody wants to talk about it or whatever. That's fine. But this thing's been launched 4 times. It's a space plane, been back and forth to space 4 times, and nobody's talking about it. Whatever. But, all right, the kind of interesting news around this, and I have an Engadget article linked below. You should totally read it. It's pretty awesome. So in 2014, Elon Musk accused the ULA, the United Launch Alliance, all right, of bribing the Air Force for exclusive launch rights to like 36 missions. Right? So he calls him out. Hey, there's some sketchiness going on. The fuck's up with this? Right? Soon after he levels these accusations, the United States Air Force approached SpaceX and was just like, hey, you guys are approved for launch contracts, so like everything's cool. Like, we're not being bribed. We're letting you guys do a couple of launches. So he's doing this X-37, and then he's doing 2 more telecommunication satellites between now and the end of 2018, if I remember the article correctly. But it's kind of funny that, like, he called him out, and they're just like, no, everything's cool. We'll totally give you a contract also. Like, don't worry about it. So that just makes it more sketchy, but nobody wants to talk about it, secret military stuff. So that's good news for SpaceX, and I'm okay with that. I love those guys. But so there's an article linked for that below, as well as the launch stuff I was talking about earlier. There's YouTube channels, YouTube videos linked for that, so check those out. At a minimum, just whatever your like the highest quality screen you have is, go to that landing video and crank it up to, like, I have a 4K TV in my living room. Watch that shit on 4K. You're gonna cry blood with magic. It's, dude, oh my god, it's mind-blowing. It's so cool. All right, so SpaceX news out of the way. But we're sticking with space. Next up is a big-ass telescope. Okay, so the construction has finally begun on the ESO ELT. So the ESO ELT, the ESO is the European Southern Observatory, all right, and the ELT is, well, it stands for Extremely Large Telescope because they're not very inventive. So it's the ESO ELT. This is a huge telescope. All right, so it consists of a 128-foot primary mirror made up of 798 individually self-correcting hexagonal segments, all right, as well as a secondary and several tertiary mirrors for sharpening, stabilizing, and adapting to fluctuations in light and brightness and vibration and all that kind of stuff to make the crispest image they possibly can. All right, it will be imaging exoplanets and celestial objects with a clarity and to a rate of distance that we have never imaged before, which is awesome. Also, the thing looks dope, so that's cool too. It will the ESO the ESO ELT will be built near the ESO's Paranal Observatory in northern Chile. So it's going to be in northern Chile. It's like the best site for this kind of stuff. They already have an observatory there, and they're just going to crank it up to 11, you know what I mean? And this thing's supposed to be top notch, and I'm glad they're breaking grounds, and I can't wait to follow what's happening with this project. I'll give you guys updates whenever I hear about them, as well as see the first images that come out of this project. This is those steps towards a multi-system society, which we need to be. We got all our eggs in one basket, and frankly, we are setting the basket on fire day by day. So maybe we should try to not do that, you know? You know, me to you. So the last thing, still space news, is legitimately the coolest Mars rover ever. Look at this thing. All right, so NASA recently revealed, I think this was also last Saturday, I'm not 100% though, that there's a new Mars rover concept vehicle. They revealed this at the Kennedy Space Center. So this rover is enormous. It's 28 feet long, 14 feet wide, and 11 feet tall, and it's designed and built by these like Hollywood prop designers. It's totally designed for like off-road and stuff like that. It's not built by like NASA engineers. It's these prop designers just decided everything's custom fabrication. It's amazing. The thing, I mean, it's not fast, but a Mars rover is not fast. They custom designed the wheels to cope with all of the possible environments they'd be going through. It can seat 4 astronauts, as well as the entire back end of it, that whole boxy back end, is specifically designed to house laboratory equipment. So the idea is that 4 astronauts would be able to utilize it, as well as run experiments within the thing. In the article that I have linked, there's a video about 3/4 of the way down that talks about it, as well as there's another video on YouTube. I didn't get a link for it, but I think it sort of follows. That's absolutely amazing. Like, these guys have just gone out of their way to make just such an amazing thing. This Hollywood team that designed this is best known for their designing of the prop bikes from the newest Tron. Yeah, they built this thing 100% completion, 100% custom. They built it in less than 5 months for NASA as sort of like a proof of concept kind of a deal. And as like, this obviously isn't going to go to Mars. We're not sending anything to Mars anytime soon, technically. But they're going to send this to a museum to sort of act as inspiration for the next generation. Hey, look at what we designed. Look what we can do. What can you do better? Which is awesome. So like, it's making it, you know, it's those moves that I'm always talking about. We gotta reinforce the future kind of a thing. But it's a great article. It's a really short article. It's a great article. It's a CNET article, link below. Check that out. Absolutely amazing. And the thing looks just so badass. Oh my God, so badass. So yeah, check that out. The last thing I wanted to talk about, I know I just said that was the last thing. I lied to you, I'm a liar. But the last thing I wanted to talk about was Nerd Jive specifically. So we just got back like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, from Fanime 2017. It was awesome. We loved it. We had a great old time. So if you follow me on social media, me personally, or Nerd Jive, as well as wife and sister and Dom, you probably saw at least a couple of updates. But I just recently uploaded all of Fanime 2017's pictures to our website, so to nerdjive.com. So if you're interested in looking at cosplays we took photos of, our cosplays, general fun and absurdness that we had, check those out. Go to nerdjive.com, check that stuff out. It's real simple. I got a link below for that. So if you want to check that out, hit that up. But either way, this has already been longer than I needed it to be, and the light's fading, and I haven't had dinner yet. I've had beer, and it's probably not great. Just survive off of beer. But yeah, I've been John Norgrove. This has been Nerd Jive. Like, comment, subscribe, share this shit with your friends. You want more of this? Maybe a little bit better, tighter, more accurate, better lighting. Maybe not my ugly face and somebody else's ugly face. Let me know. Comment below. Share it. Get us big. You know, let us know what's going on. Any improvements, any of that kind of stuff. Let me know, man. But, yeah. Stay nerdy, guys.